The USA Outdoor Championship meet is coming, where the greatest athletes that we have in the nation are gonna go out there and prove it. But some of those athletes are high school kids, and because I'm the guy who does the high school national rankings to help determine who is really the best across every single event, I'm gonna be paying attention when those kids hit the track. So although Noah Lyles, Sydney McLaughlin-Lavroni, and even Sha'Carri Richardson are gonna be there, keep an eye on the other lanes, because the future is now. Matter of fact, when you're a high school kid, hey, I'm just gonna quote Dawn Harper Nelson. At that point, you're the future. So if you go out there and you perform, especially ahead of somebody who's trying to get themselves a contract, well, that is not gonna look pretty good for them, but it looks really good for you. Because the USA Championship meet is where everything collides. Remember, you've got the pros, you've got people who don't have contracts, you've got college kids, and yes, the high school kids are pulling up as well. So first I'm gonna go over every high school kid who's actually entered in the meet, at least letting you know who they are through my eyes. And then I'm gonna tell you what it all means, because, well, that's kind of what we do here. And I'm gonna start this off on the girls' side. And the first name I gotta give you is the one that's the most shocking, because Parker Coes, who competes for the Bullish School, like at this point they're America's track and field team as far as I'm concerned at the high school level. She is technically in the class of 2028. Like, she just finished her freshman season. She's going to be long jumping, I'm not making this up, at the USA Championship meet. Full disclosure, every other kid on this list I saw coming, except her. She's about to go down as a 5-star recruit in her class, which is a very big deal when you're coming out of your freshman season. But Jasmine Robinson will be there for the 400 hurdles. She's ranked SCA number 3 for the class of 2026 and a 96 overall rating on my scale. And then there's Sydney Sutton, also of the Bullish School, who will be running the Open 400, which means she's probably going to have to go up against Sydney. She's SCA number 4 for the class of 2025, and a Florida commit who hit a 96 overall rating on my scale. And also with the same rating from the exact same class is Anisa Bowen-Fontenot in the 100 hurdles. She is a USC commit and SCA number 7 for that class. And then there's Natalie Dumas, who is SCA number 1 for the class of 2026. She's going to be running the Open 800, but that is a choice, because she can run the 400 and the 400 hurdles, which is exactly how she became SCA number 1 for that class. But after all that, the name that can't be overlooked is Sadie Engelhardt from the class of 2025. She finishes her high school career as SCA number 2 and an NC State commit. But unlike every other name I just gave you, this is not her first time running at the USAs, because she was at the Olympic trials just last year. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. Moving on to the boys' side, I'm going to choose to start with Tate Taylor, because he's the only athlete I'm going to give you who's slated to run 2 events at the USAs. He's SCA number 1. Yes, he's tied with Quincy Wilson for the class of 2026. And with that in mind, yeah, he's going to run the 100 and the 200 at the USAs. That's what happens when you are the high school national record holder, indoors in the 200, outdoors in the 100. You beat the fastest guys that we have in the nation in a year where everybody wants to run fast. Like, yes, Tate Taylor is real, but now he's going up against the pros for a shot to make Team USA. Yet also on the starting line with him for the 100 is Maurice Gleaton Jr. He's SCA number 3 for the class of 2025 and a Georgia commit. He's already run with some of these guys. He did it at a sprint series meet earlier this year, where he won. So he believes he can actually make this team, I'm pretty sure. And then there's Cooper Lutkenhaus out of the class of 2027. Heading into this year, he was the only legit 5-star that I already knew was on my radar. At that moment, he was a 95 overall, and I'm pretty sure when the re-rank is done, he'll go up even more. That said, he'll be running the 800, and he's going to do the best he can to try to get a spot on this team. Don't know if it's going to happen. Hey, I'd be shocked if it did. But this boy is the real deal. But when you move over to the 400, Quincy Wilson ain't going to be there by himself. Jayden Horton-mims of the class of 2025. He's SCA number 2 for that class, a 97 overall rating, and a Florida commit. he will be running the 400. And of course, him and Quincy have faced off on the high school scene, and I mean, hey, he even got the better of him one time. But that was then. This is now. Because when Quincy Wilson himself comes back to the USA's, this is not his first time. He got dangerously close to making the team last year. And this year it's looking pretty good for him. Again, I already told you, so I'm going to just repeat what I just said. He's SCA #1 for the class of 2026. He's a 99 overall rating because he already runs faster than anything that we have in college right now. But he's still going to have to run faster than the fastest pros that we have to get on this team. I told you I would let you know what all of this means, so here we go. As far as I'm concerned, if you're in high school and you show up to the USA's, you are announcing yourself as the real deal. Now, you're more or less going to get experience. Like, that's going to happen. It's inevitable. And you're not supposed to make the team. But if you do, like, even if you get dangerously close, like, let's say you make the final, you've already now reshaped the narrative about who you are in your career. Because it sets an expectation that you're going to have to live up to. The thing about a 5-star recruit, and this is just how I see it, human beings do have limits. So when you're a 5-star recruit who can make it this far, it shows that you're already pretty close to your ceiling. It doesn't really matter what athlete you take. When you're looking at the PRs that these athletes give, they're already competitive with what some of the people on the pro scene are doing. And some of them actually show that they are close enough to what it might take to even make Team USA. Now, performing under pressure and like what it means to be a professional is not just about PRs. It's not even just about a season best. It's way more than that. But you are also pretty close to your ceiling already. Because again, there's a limit on what human beings can do. If you're running 44 seconds in the 400 while you're in high school, that does not mean you're going to run 42 seconds later on in your life. Nobody's ever done that. That's the point. So you're probably going to spend the rest of your career trying to go into the 44s more consistently, specifically the bottom half, and then into the 43s. That 1 second of drop is the difference between being a phenom and being perhaps a world champion. For everybody else who runs your event, again, you might as well just stick with the 400 because that's what Quincy does. Like, all these athletes are going to be there, but let's be honest, he's probably the name that you noticed first from this list. If you run the 4, you might go from 48 down to 46 in college. Or, 49 down to 46. Like, you see how there's a lot of gap for somebody to improve? When these kids show up, we already know that they're talented. That's not the question. College coaches aren't debating whether they wanted to recruit these kids. For the most part, they can go anywhere they want in the country because they have that type of talent. The type of talent that shows up immediately in the NCAA and will pay dividends. They can score points in the SEC conference. For that matter, they can try to make an NCAA championship final. And if they do choose to run at that level or compete, that's going to be the expectation. 100%. Generally speaking, college coaches really don't care at all where the talent is. They just want to know how to find it. Hopefully, a lot of it. So it shouldn't be that shocking that some of our best athletes show up to the USA's. Because at the college level, a lot of the athletes who are coming internationally, they're coming because they're already representing for their national teams. They're just now running in a college uniform. Don't be fooled. Whatever that name on the front is, that's just the name on the front. Where they're from may have no real correlation. Ultimately speaking, USA's is always a show because everybody's running for something big. People are running for spots on the team. They're running for a chance to get medals. Some people are running to prove themselves for a contract like I've alluded to. But ultimately, if you're a high school kid, you have nothing to lose. At that moment, you are still the future. You ain't supposed to do it right now. And that's what makes all the high school kids dangerous. They have no chill button because they have no reason to. If you're at the USA's as a high school kid, that means almost any high school meet you go to, you are the best thing that's going to be there. Again, almost. Not all the time, but almost all the time. And if that's true, you're pretty used to winning. So why would you stop now? So the pros are going to have to go out there and prove why they have those contracts. Because these kids are going to run hard from the time that gun goes off. And if Quincy Wilson has already taught us anything with his experience, you just might run fast enough to earn your way into a Team USA uniform and perhaps come back with hardware, even if you're still a high school kid. You actually made it all the way to the end of this video. I do have to admit that thank you doesn't do it justice anymore, because you are a real one. And if you want more from me beyond this video, on scarecruiting.com, you can get a ton of resources, like my free recruiting guide, online courses, and much more, including the option to meet with me one-on-one, where my specialty is helping you figure out which schools might actually be the best fit for you. And if nothing else, and you really just want to see more content like this, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.